Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel. This is Natalie and
Mom
with Natalie and Mom's Kitchen, and today we're doing things a little bit different. This is going to be a relatively easy recipe, but I'm actually physically holding the camera versus it being on a tripod, and my mom is going to be doing the cooking, so you'll be seeing her hands, not mine. This is called Halushky, which is the white egg noodles with cabbage, eggs, butter, and...
Not eggs. Close. Eggs are in the noodles. Onions.
White egg noodles, cabbage, onions, yes, butter, and bacon. However, we're doing our own little spin using the maple flavored hickory smoked bacon that's already they're prepared already.
And it's like a jerky, so because instead of buying a whole thing of bacon that we're not going to eat,
right, because we're not huge bacon people. I know that's like a travesty.
I am, but in a restaurant when I get my few pieces,
right,
I don't like to buy it at home because then it gets ruined.
Right. So anyway, so we're going to be kind of piecemealing this, and she'll be chopping the cabbage and then the onions, and then we'll kind of show it everything completely, but it's just going to be in batches like we normally do. Okay, so we will be back in a second. So we poured in the egg noodles into the water, which we didn't really think was important. I think you guys know how to pour noodles into a bowl. I mean, into a pot. But you're supposed to cook them until tender, but still slightly firm. So the package says 7 to 9 minutes. It suggests 5 minutes. So we're just going to do it for 5 minutes. And then we will drain it and get with the next section. Right?
Yep.
Okay. Anything else?
We have to preset the oven.
All right. We'll be back in a second.
Okie dokie. So now we're going to take, in this case, a half. I was able to find a half of cut cabbage at Publix the other day. I also bought, but I can't always find, in case you need to do a shortcut, a bag of coleslaw. So basically, it is cabbage, except that it's already pre-shredded. Now, in this case, we're not going to shred. We're going to cut it into chunks. I don't like this top piece. I'm taking it off, cutting it into chunks so it's not...
So it's not necessarily shredded.
Necessarily shredded. So you got to, something to bite into. Whoops.
Sorry if the camera got a little wobbly. I got a call coming in, and it tells me that if I let the call keep going, it's going to shut off my camera. So I kind of had to reach for that. Sorry about that, guys.
Hey, technology. If I look spastic, it's only because I didn't use my, bigger chopping block, and I don't feel like pulling out the chopper right now. So...
You don't look spastic.
I'm going to put that into a bowl.
Uh-oh.
Okay, let me check. Okay.
We'll be right back.
Well, you've seen basically how to cut the cabbage.
Yeah,
it's very
that's
simple.
all it is what it is. So
Okay,
we'll finish the cabbage, and we're going to drain the noodles, and we'll be right back. Okay. Go.
Okay. Okay, now to the onion. Whoa. I hate that sound. Doesn't have to be tiny pieces. Just chopped. Probably could have used my big knife for this as well, but kind of weird.
Mm-hmm. That's a fresh onion.
I don't know.
It's kind of fun having her do the stuff instead of me.
And I'm not really, I'm being more careful right now because we're on film and I don't want to.
No, I don't want you cutting your finger regardless of whether or not we're on film.
Well, no, I know, but I typically get a little more bold with the knife. Okay, now I should have used
A big knife.
That's for the pieces that I think were too big. Again, doesn't matter because they're gonna.
They shrivel up to nothing anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, I think I'm about to start crying.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, that's what happens with onions.
Okay, so there's going to be a lot of onions.
Which is good.
That's good.
We love onions.
Okay, so I'll finish up the other onion. But right now we're going to melt the butter in the frying pan. I mean in the sauteing pan. And then when all the onions are ready, we'll throw them in there. Watch them for a little bit. And then take it from there.
Okay, we'll be right back. This is a half a cup of butter that we're doing. It calls for a full cup for the whole thing, but you only saute the onions with half of it. So she's finishing up cutting up the onions, and we're just waiting for the butter to completely melt. More butter and more onions, the better. All right, be back in a second. Okay, so now we've got 1 large onion. It calls for 2 large onions, but it also calls for 16 ounces of noodles, and we had a 12-ounce bag. So we're doing less onions, but I mean, honestly, for us, the more onions, the better. So
yeah, typically we would, but also not sure. You know, this is our first time doing these. I've watched my aunt, my mother, my grandmother doing these many years. Just never actually did it myself. So now basically you want the onions to turn translucent. So we don't saute them fully like we might for, we don't want them caramelized yet. They will be eventually once they're baking together. There's some bigger pieces in here that I typically would not. That doesn't matter. We're roughing it. But anyway, so basically what I do is I make sure to just kind of flatten it out. And then watch it, because it takes it a while to caramelize. Oh, and it's on a medium-high heat right now. On an electric oven, it's on...
if you're at 3 o'clock on a...
Yeah.
If high is on the right of your knob, it's at 3 o'clock.
Yeah. So, and I'm watching it because I want it to just get nice and translucent. Okay, so, alrighty.
Okay, so
salt and pepper. Oh my goodness.
All right, add salt and pepper.
Plenty of salt and pepper. By plenty, I mean, don't go crazy, but it does need it, because otherwise, it's cabbage, cooked cabbage. It's not sauerkraut, so it's not, marinated. It's not pickled, and the noodles aren't, spiced or anything or seasoned. So you've got to be able to put salt and pepper on here. And we will again anyway when we throw it in the oven, before we throw it in the oven. Alrighty.
So we'll be back in a second once the onions are where they need to be. Okay, so we are basically right at the
translucent stage. It's not brown yet, it's not yellow, but it's not completely white. So now we're going to be putting in the other half a cup of butter to start melting. And may have had to use the bigger pan,
We didn't.
the deeper one. Oh well, live and learn.
But we also turned down the heat to not quite medium, a little bit higher than medium. So it's like at maybe 5 o'clock ish.
Yeah, between 5 and
5 and 6.
6. Yeah. It's
It's
gonna be
just
interesting.
gonna make
It's
it.
gonna fit.
So then we do this for about, so it says 5 to 8 minutes.
Yeah.
So how many? So do 7.
Yeah, that's good. We always like to go one more, one less, just for the fun of it.
And it almost didn't start, so that would have been good. So then it just says to go ahead until it's tender but not like fully cooked.
Yeah, so this.
So about 5 to 7 minutes, or 5 to 8 minutes. So we're doing it for 7.
And it may take a little longer only because this is not as big. A deeper saute pan would be good to handle this cabbage. You know, half a head of cabbage doesn't seem like a lot when you're looking at it, you know, the way it is. But when you chop it all up, it's smelling good because the onions, of course, starting to...
Okay.
I don't know where those came from. I didn't see that before. It's the second one I pulled out. Making me crazy.
Because it's getting brown on the bottom.
This has a hard piece on it.
Might as well take the teapot out because it's just kind of sitting there. Oops. All right, so we'll be back in a few minutes. Okay, so this is about more than halfway. We have about 1:40 left. We did add some more salt and pepper, and we have decided that when we do this again, we will add another onion, even though we have less pasta. We're going to go ahead and add another onion because we love onion.
Yes. Sauteed onions, caramelized onions, otherwise known as, are just to die for. The
Yes,
scent.
they are.
Oh, the aroma, I should say, in the house when they're... We do those with our vareniki, or pierogi, you know, dumplings, and we cook those up by themselves in butter and oil, sometimes a mixture, which is another
We
thing.
do the clarified butter.
We do the clarified butter, right? The one thing is that if this is going to have bacon on it, but if we were doing this as my aunt and mom used to do it, was without meat, because it was either during Lent that we would eat this, or otherwise when we were fasting from meat.
And dairy, which when it's the dairy, you would use oil only,
Yes.
no butter.
And then no bacon, of course.
Right.
And then you just kind of have to caramelize the onion, you know, put more onions in for flavor, and salt and pepper it well enough, and it's a perfectly good Lenten dish.
Okay, 16 more seconds. All right, so we'll be back in a second with the next step. Okay, so after 7 minutes, this seems to have worked out, and I totally forgot to put oil into the noodles, so they're kind of sticky. I don't know what the heck I was thinking.
Well, neither one of us was really thinking about that because there's so much butter going into everything else.
Right. So I kind of just tried to break them up a bit now, but what you do is you go ahead and you put the cabbage mixture, or the cabbage and onion butter mixture, into a roasting pan. And then you put the noodles in, and then you gently mix it. Now don't you not have to put in the oven, or is that?
We could stop here if this was a Lenten dish, except mine is the butter. Sans butter, you put in oil. Then we wouldn't even be putting it in a roasting dish. We would be all mixing it all into the pot that had the noodles. Because we would have oiled them like we normally do for pasta when we make pasta. So.
But because we're adding the bacon on it, you can either crumble the bacon, or we're going to put it into...
I may put it like in bigger pieces, not crumble it. But since I got that jerky and it's already pre-cooked, I'm going to just try not putting... You could probably, some people, what they do with stuffed cabbage, they put whole strips of bacon on top for flavor. We like to kind of mush ours into the middle of the, you know, into the meat, so you get the smoky flavor. But in this case, as soon as I know that I mix it in well enough.
We're going to just put the bacon on top and then put it into the oven on 300. So I was going to say pre-soaked. We preheated the oven to 300.
Today was going on a Monday, or what day is today?
Yeah, Monday.
Yeah. Soaked would have probably. Okay,
Miley,
so now, in order to caramelize nicer, I'm going to get the bacon. Oh, this is so exciting. I get so excited over little silly things.
I guess I know who I take after.
Yeah, except I don't squeal. I know. When I get excited, I just say yay and clap my hands. The child in me.
All right, so we'll be back in a second. Okay, so we are back with what it looks like right now.
And we added to the top 2.5 ounces of maple flavored bacon jerky, hickory smoked. It's the things that you buy in those little pre-packs to have on hand in the event. You know, you need some meat and you don't want to get a whole thing of bacon, which is where we are coming from. Much as we love bacon, we don't eat it fast enough, and I don't like when it's been sitting in the refrigerator. So it's that on top. Oven's at 300. So we're going to put it in there for...
It says until golden brown on top, or about 30 to 40 minutes.
Yeah. And then,
so then we'll be back with you, for you, in a blink of an eye. For us, 30, 40 minutes.
That's it.
So we'll be back in a little bit. Bye. Okay, so we had it in the oven originally for 30 minutes. Then we went ahead and put it in for 5 more minutes, having increased the temperature a little bit. Honestly, it doesn't really need to go in the oven for any specific length of time or anything, because everything's cooked. This is just a matter for everything, I guess, to meld and crisp it, and crisping and caramelizing and melding. But this is it. We hope you guys enjoyed this. I like I said, okay, right. It calls for 16 ounces of the egg noodles, 1 cup of butter, 1 cup of butter divided, 2 large onions chopped, which is what we will do next time. We just figured since we had less pasta, we wouldn't, but nope, that's not the way it's going to work. It says 2 small heads of cabbage, cored and cut into 1-inch pieces, but we got half of 1 large head, so that was about the equivalent. Salt and ground pepper, ground black pepper to taste, which we did in the onions as well as with the cabbage. And then 4 to 6 strips of cooked and crumbled bacon on top, which we did. We showed you we did the jerky bacon, and my gosh, the house smells amazing. I mean, like totally amazing. But remember, if you want to do this as a Lenten dish,
or just any kind of non-meat or dairy. I don't know how many people are against dairy or not into dairy.
When it comes to like fasting and stuff.
Then you can use olive oil. I would use olive oil and no bacon. Otherwise, everything was the same. Well, we'd have to figure out how much olive oil. But I guess, you just kind of look at it, and as long as there's enough to cover,
right, because this was a cup of butter, so I guess you could use a cup of olive oil, but that'd be a lot.
Yeah, because the cup of butter is going to melt.
Right. So, yeah.
Maybe, a half a cup of oil, have it on hand, but just put in a 1/4 cup and then see if you need more and like that.
So we hope you enjoy this. If you have any questions, let us know in the comment section below. If you decide to try it, we would love to hear what you thought of it. If you make any changes, we would love to hear that too, so that we can maybe try it your way. But bon appetit, and we are going to dig in because we are starving.
Yes, smacznego in Ukrainian.
Yes, smacznego in Ukrainian. So have a great day. If you're still here and you're new, we'd appreciate it if you'd hit the subscribe button down below, as well as the notification bell next to that. Which, if you can set it to all, if you're interested in getting all the notifications, that would be great. Giving it a thumbs up if you like the content would be very much appreciated, as well as sharing it. And yeah, we still haven't come up with a tagline for this channel, but this is Mom, huh? That's no tagline like I have on my channel. That's the name of this. But anyway, so we will see you possibly next week, but we've been kind of averaging every other week. But we'll see what happens. We've got a couple ideas in mind for other recipes. So we will see you guys soon. Have a great week and enjoy. I think we got everything.
And thank you for watching.
Yes, thank you very much for watching. And remember, once we reach 200 subscribers, we're doing a giveaway. That was on, I think, our last video, where I'm doing a set of 4 crocheted coasters, which is what my other channel is a fiber arts community channel with crochet and yarn and stuff, which is natalies.closet. I'm sorry, that's my email address. It's Natalie's Closet, but I'll put it down here at the bottom of the screen. And the link is in the description box below if you want to check it out. But there will be a set of 4 crocheted coasters when we do a drawing once we reach 200 subscribers. So thanks so much again. Have a great day, and we will see you guys soon.
Share.
Oh yeah, if you guys would share, that would be amazing also. All right, have a great day. Bye.
Bye.